Meet Jamal Muhammad, a third-generation Palestinian. In recent months, Jamal has been organizing young people at North Carolina State University for Palestine. But this work is not new for him.
I've been to protests since I was like 8. I was really young, 6. Um, and I've seen the oppression since I was young. I've known about it since I was young. Now that I'm older, I'm the president of the Arab Student Organization, so I have a platform to organize.
Throughout the conflict, Biden has supported Israel's right to defend itself. But in recent weeks, the White House has reported that U.S. support for Israel is contingent on an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. Earlier this year, however, the administration stated they do not support a permanent ceasefire, which many organizing for Palestine are calling for. The issue of a ceasefire has not only sparked protests, but is also making its way to the ballot box. Across the country, many young voters are expressing disapproval for Biden's lack of support for a permanent ceasefire in Gaza by voting no preference or uncommitted in the Democratic primary. What originally started as a grassroots effort in Michigan by organizers of Listen to Michigan has now become a nationwide movement to mobilize the uncommitted vote. Here in North Carolina, 88,900 people voted no preference in the March 5th Democratic primary.
We're not having it. Like, we want one thing, and that's for you to stop sending our tax dollars to Israel. That's simple. And he hasn't been able to give it to us. He's trying to find ways around.
Nearly 52% of young voters disapprove Biden's performance as president, according to YouGov. And when it comes to policy relating to Gaza, majority of young Americans support a permanent ceasefire. Given this, organizer Hadil Hamoud says that voting Biden is not the answer to the issues the country currently faces.
I think everybody voting no preference understands the consequences if Biden doesn't win, but are finding that the Democratic Party and establishment, and particularly the Biden administration, is not the administration that's going to save us from right-wing fascism and the threats to our democracy that we're facing from the other side of the aisle. So at this point, there would need to be something so drastic from the Biden administration in order for him to convince the young voters that it's worth voting for him.
We are outside Duke Karsh Alumni Center, one of many polling stations here in North Carolina where young people will turn out in just a couple of months. But who they'll truly turn out for remains a question. 57% of young people say they are dissatisfied with the U.S. political system. 61% say they don't identify with either major political party. And 33% don't plan to engage civically at all in 2024. In North Carolina, young people are increasingly registering as unaffiliated, and voter turnout amongst Gen Z and millennials in the state are lower than any other generation. Biden currently faces a major challenge with engaging young voters in North Carolina. And in swing states across the country, Biden's pathway to victory relies on the turnout of young people. As of now, Biden's fate remains up in the air as young ceasefire supporters turn to another option on their ballot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's gonna win in November. I honestly don't think. I think there's so many people who voted for him last election who have just committed themselves not to vote for him. A lot of people are gonna vote for third-party candidates. There's Cornel West, there's Claudia Cruz and Carolina Garcia with the PSL. There's Jill Stein, who have been openly pro-Palestine. And I think people are gonna flock to them, and I think they should.
But the fact that we're left with Trump and Biden again, when in 2020 we said, lesser of two evils, got to pick one, or stuff like that, right? The fact that we're left in this position again just proves that the political parties have failed us. That we have two bad candidates that now the only option is to go third party.
Ceasefire supporters are also looking towards other offices to bring about change.
I think I think that the focus really does need to be down the ballot, and I think we should be clear that voting no preference does not mean not voting. And there are a lot of local and congressional elections that are really vital this election, and even here in North Carolina governor election is really important. So that's where my energies will be focused.
Come November, many young voters like Jamal who may have voted for Biden in 2020 will not see Biden as a viable option for them.
But I did vote Biden, and now I would never vote him again, ever, because of what he's doing. He completely lost the Arab Muslim community vote 100%. There has to be repercussions for what you did. You can't just get away with it, get reelected. If he gets reelected, it's literally a slap in the face to the entire Palestinian community.
In Raleigh, I'm Akshay Gokul reporting for Carolina Week.